Hey everybody, Josh Sigurdson of World Alternative Media here, and we are joined by the one and only Sam Tripoli, Tinfoil Hat Podcast. Everyone should be checking it out. I was just on. I really appreciate it, by the way. I wanted to ask you about political correctness, because it seems like, unfortunately, over the last 20 years, it's been getting progressively worse, including many comics, unfortunately, that are very, very controversial and offensive, starting to kind of take the side of, we got to be careful what we say, or else, they'll cancel us. And we've seen that happen to multiple comics over the years. I wanted to hear your thoughts on that being a big part of the scene. What your thoughts are on the amount of cancel culture we see today, especially in the comic community.
I think there is a movement. I believe it's the emperor's new clothes. I think if people sit there and they put energy into it, it becomes a real thing. But the minute any real people push back, it all crashes and burns. And, there are, it also depends on what the crime is, right? If it's just an off-color joke, and some people get offended, it's very hard for anyone to do anything. And it also depends on how much you play the game. If you're a person who is in the system and you're playing the game and you apologize, they gotcha. But if you're someone like my show, I have one of my buddies here, called Tinfoil Hat with Sam Tripoli, it's a pirate ship. And what's the point of having a pirate ship if you don't raid some people once in a while? And it's very hard for them to do anything to me because I'm decentralized. I'm my own boss. I'm my own thing, and I'm not really playing the game. So it all depends on how hooked you are into the system. Yes, they can go after you, but if you don't play by their rules don't apply to you.
Well, yeah, and you're deep into the scene. I mean, you've booked for the Comedy Store for years, and you obviously deal with a lot of the greatest comedians out there. And I wanted to ask, do you believe that there's some kind of concerted effort in order to scare people away from speaking the truth? I mean, comedy, people laugh because it's true. Even if it's incredibly offensive at times, you see people laugh. I mean, it's because there's some truth to it. And I wanted to hear your thoughts as a conspiracy theorist about, is there a concerted effort to kind of try and silence people from telling those truths?
Well, I'll tell you this. I feel that woke comedy equals broke comedy, okay? Everybody that has attempted to apply woke comedy or shoehorn it in on people, their businesses have collapsed. Comedy clubs, they lose their audiences. Television channels lose their audiences because people don't give a shit about what I call weaponized diversity. Right. We've had this weaponized diversity. People don't realize it, particularly stand-up comedy is the closest thing to sports. It is results oriented, meaning, in LA at any given night, there's literally a billion things to do. Why should I buy a ticket to your show? If I do buy a ticket to your show, I better get rocked. It might look good on a flyer. It's like, oh, look at this bisexual, biracial show where everyone's got a cool futuristic haircut. And I come there and nobody's laughing. Guess what? That client isn't coming back to your show. So I do this show called Comedy Chaos, where we just had our either our 63rd or our 65th sellout. We sold out 2 shows in a row. We've been doing it all the time. There are no rules of diversity in the show. I try to do the best I can to get it, but there's no set rule. I'm not going to put anybody in that shouldn't be there. And people know when they buy a ticket, they're going to get rocked. I've seen great comedy clubs fall because they think that people want diversity. People don't give a shit about diversity. And the people on the internet who are crying about diversity, crying about the lack of this on the lineup or that, guess what? They were never coming to your show. Yeah. They're never going to buy a ticket.
Well, there's a loud 1 or 2% of people that the media pumps into everyone's minds, and everyone goes, oh, I should be outraged by this thing that I didn't care about to begin with. Only a few comics out there have really been able to bridge that gap into being more controversial in that sense, as far as even conspiracies go. Yourself, Bill Burr has been able to get into that pretty deeply. Joe Rogan in the past has. But, I mean, it seems like something that most people are trying to shy away from. Now, you have started out the careers of a lot of people, I think, over the years.
Thank you.
I mean, well, you really have had a huge role in starting out some huge careers over the years. I wanted to ask, I mean, has anyone ever come up to you and said, hey, can you not say this? Or if you do this, we'll put you on this show, or whatever it might be?
I think I'm known for what I'm doing, so I don't think that conversation ever happens. I think it happens a lot, but I just think the problem is that the liberal movement has been hijacked by corporatists, conformists who think having a black boyfriend and a gay friend is what life's about. And hey, dude, date whoever you want. And if you're gay, be gay. But the truth is, man, you got to be you, man, because nothing's guaranteed in life. And people want to get rocked. And what comedy clubs don't understand, and they're the ones that are the only form of entertainment, like train wreck stuff sells tickets, man. There's a reason why the Kardashians were big forever. And I'm not saying Kardashians are right. But when you go to these comedy clubs, they think, oh, let's not upset anybody. Dude, piss people off. Howard Stern used to say, man, it wasn't his fans that made him, but it was his haters, dude. If something crazy happens on stage, okay, a great example of this is the San Francisco Zoo, right? There was one day a guy got eaten by a tiger. Hand to God, the next day at the zoo was the busiest the zoo had ever been. When they got rid of any chance of anybody ever getting eaten, the zoo is like doing bad business-wise. I'm not saying we should sacrifice people or anything like that. But listen, go big, go hard, go crazy. Piss people off, man. Piss people off. They like it because they want to be moved emotionally, and we've gotten away from that. And what we've allowed are these woke folk who know how to work the internet to create a world that plays to their strengths and outlaws their weaknesses. They don't like edgy comedy because they're not good at it. They're trying to get rid of what they can't compete with. And it doesn't work. I'm hearing about all these woke open mics in all these comedy, in all these cities like Portland and New York, where these comics that work nowhere but this coffee shop in front of 5 people are doing comedy. Let them have that stuff because it goes nowhere. Woke comedy equals broke comedy, dude. Just be who you are. Throttle it to 10. Go hard in the paint. And I've seen some great some guys who I think are the greatest comics ever who are so afraid to be themselves on stage, and their careers have suffered because they don't want to be seen as a conservative. Dude, fuck it. Hard in the paint, dude, and find your people. Don't try to get everybody. Get the people who love what you do.
People forget that Howard Stern used to have KKK members and little people on his show on a regular basis, and it was hilarious, and they got mocked the most. I mean, that was a thing, but people were open to being offended, and
Dude, the truth of the matter is this notion that if you make fun of something means you don't respect it is not real, and it's complete bullshit. Man, dude, the more you're in, the more you get made fun of. Okay, somehow this political correctness thing made it so the more you're in, the less you get made fun of. Nah, who gets made fun of the most in this country? Trump, Bush, the Kardashians, LeBron James. I mean, like, we can go on forever. Like, people who are in the system, who are like killing it, and they're just piñatas. The more you're in, the more you get made fun of. You actually make more fun of the people you love than the people you don't like. It's just the truth, dude. And it's just like the only thing you can ask for is love and respect. After that, it's just the notion that if I make a joke about, okay, black guys don't pass me the ball in basketball. I miss one shot, they never pass me the ball. The notion that that's racism is ridiculous. It's racial, it's not racism. And a big part, and I'm just yelling right here, but a big part of the definition of racism, can someone look up the definition of racism real quick? If you look up the definition of racism, it's best, everybody goes by the first part of it, which is to basically mock, what does it go? How's it go? It goes basically, let me read it real quick. I know I'm off camera here, but it basically says, prejudice, discrimination directed against someone of a different race based on, here's the part that nobody realizes, based on that you think you're superior to them.
Right.
Nobody talks about that part of that. They only talk about the mocking part. And that's the ridiculous, like the whole thing about Shane Gillis getting kicked off Saturday Night Live because he did some jokes about Asians and Jews. If you actually look at the standard of living in this country, the highest is Asians, followed by Jewish people. More 2-family homes, more doctrines, more people with PhDs, doctrines. That's Asian. It's like you can't make fun of Asians because they're the top of the pyramid. But nobody wants to talk about that. You just had a bunch of people on this Crazy Rich Asian movie try to connect with their base. The movie's called Crazy Rich Asians. What are we talking about here? We're not discriminating you. You're crazy. You're rich Asian. So it's a game you play, and I play it. I love it, dude. What are you gonna do to me?
Well, I really appreciate it. Finishing it off, I just want to ask for one: are you still taking Blue Chew? And two, where can people find more of your work and plug your
Dude,
stuff?
I love that Blue Chew, dude. I have twin girls, so you know Blue Chew works, okay? You can find me at Sam Tripoli. I'm on float.app, okay? At Sam Tripoli. Josh, I love you very much. You are you were on my show. You blew me away. Your knowledge is amazing. I could do 3-hour shows if it wasn't for my engineer giving me fucking faces, telling me to wrap it up. We could have gone 3 or 4 hours, but I appreciate you. And please come back on the show anytime you're here. And come to Comedy Chaos tomorrow night. Hang out, bro.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
I appreciate it. You're the G, dude.
Like what you see here at Wham, don't forget to check the links below. GoFundMe, Patreon. We cannot do it without you guys. Every donation is extremely, extremely appreciated as we're getting incredibly shadow banned. We've lost 80% of our audience since January of 2019 and counting. They are ripping us apart here on YouTube, and the only thing we could do in the meantime as we prepare for the next big step is to ask for help from the viewers that support our free information that we try to post on a daily basis. You can also find us on Subscribestar, where just $1 a month, that's all it takes, $1 a month is all it takes to truly make a huge difference. If everyone gave $1 a month, it would change everything for independent media, and we could win this information war, and we can defeat the mainstream medias eventually. And of course, on Subscribestar, we post subscriber-only content that you'll only see on Subscribestar. So make sure to pledge there, become a patron. That makes a huge difference, guys. And also, don't forget to check out our Bitcoin address below in the comments and description, as well as on the screen for you to scan if you please. And also, don't forget to subscribe to us on the alternatives. We will likely be deleted by YouTube in the next 2 years. It's already happening on a vast scale, so make sure to find us on float.app. That's flote.app. At Josh Sigurdson, as well as at Wham, W-A-M. Float.app is replacing every social media, and I mean, it's just incredible the opportunities it provides for not just creators, but for the average person who wants to get away from these nannies telling them what they can or cannot see. They plan to replace Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, Tumblr, Reddit, and Patreon. You could subscribe to us on Float and pledge with cryptocurrency. It's really innovative. We are also on BitChute at World Alternative Media, as well as so many others, Minds, PocketNet. You can find us at World Alternative Media on Instagram. There's many options. So make sure to support in any way you can, even if it's just sharing our videos, pressing like, pressing to be notified. Anything helps, folks. You are the change you wish to see. Thanks for watching, everyone, and until next time, this is Josh Sigurdson signing out from World Alternative Media. Find the truth, be the change.
I'm sure you have already changed people's minds in your young age because you're involved, and I like that.